Hello, so I am Katie Wilson and I'm the volunteer and community coordinator here at Cranleigh Arts. So I'm really excited to be here with Chris and Sophie, aka GreenMatthews. Hi guys!
Hello!
Lovely to see you. Thank you so much for talking us to me today. So how have you been? How's lockdown been for you guys?
It's been terrifying. It's been terrifying. There's been uncertainty. It's been lonely. It's been depressing. But you know what? We're still here. We are, I suppose, one of life's optimists, and we do always try and kind of find a positive way through. So we have, right at the beginning of lockdown, we had every day we opened our emails to whole cancellations and no, we're not going ahead, and more cancellations. But we were able to move a lot of our work online, and we've done lots of videos. And right at the end of the year, we're back at real venues.
Thanks largely to the sterling work of venues such as Cranleigh Arts, which are actually open.
Like your good selves, you're back open, and you're actually doing the thing that you're doing and enabling us to do the thing that we do. So yeah, it's been a really scary year, but as I say, we're still here. And in fact, I think it might even be Peter who who does the programming at Cranleigh. He was signing off his emails for quite some time saying survival is the new success, which frankly we've really taken to heart.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's been a really strange year. I mean, we've barely been in the centre, and I went in yesterday, and it was so lovely to be back and to see. I saw Peter and I saw some of our other colleagues, and my volunteers are really excited to be back and everything. So yeah, our first concert is next Tuesday, and then you guys are the second one. So we're really looking forward to that one next week. But for people who don't know GreenMatthews, tell us a little bit about your genre of music. How would you define yourselves, and how did you get into that kind of area, really, I guess?
Well, we're both primarily folk musicians, but we also play a lot of early music instruments, so like the Rauschpfeife, the Shawm, all instruments that kind of died out a very long time ago. But whereas a lot of people who play instruments like that use those instruments to play music from that time, we don't just do that. We very much take the view that they are musical instruments, and therefore you can play music on them as opposed to one very specific kind of music. So I suppose our musical style is a blend of the very old and also the brand new as well.
Lovely, but I think that's nice. It's the nice mix and sort of trying new things and experimentation and stuff. I think that's what makes you guys really exciting. Yeah. So you've been at Cranleigh Arts, I think 3 times previously. You've done at least 3 shows with us, I think, haven't you?
Yes.
They've sort of really built, and we've really enjoyed them. But tell us about the new show, Midwinter Revels. That sounds like a really exciting project, and I know you've developed it in lockdown a little bit.
Well, sorry, over to you. You carry on.
Well, it's a show that we had decided to do before lockdown. We knew that it was going to be called Midwinter Revels, but obviously, and we started working on it before lockdown, but obviously the bulk of it has been developed, over the summer. So it kind of is a show of 2 halves.
Yeah, I mean, the original concept for the show that it would be a celebration of kind of all the things that you do in midwinter to sort of make midwinter more bearable. So, kind of seeing your mates, going out to the pub, all getting together. And of course, that all went out of the window on March the 18th this year.
Yeah. So actually, there's a lot of real nostalgia now.
So there's a real dividing line on the album between stuff that was created for it prior to lockdown and stuff that was created during lockdown. I hope that doesn't make it sound too depressing, because it really isn't. But it actually, it does kind of, it is very much an album of 2 parts on that basis.
This year could not, there's no way that this year could not have informed the music that we've done. And I mean, it's still about parties, and it's still about seeing people, and it's still about Midwinter Revels. But I think the way that we now view those things has changed a lot.
Yeah, I think we've all taken that time, haven't we, to just evaluate and to remind ourselves what's really important, I think, and especially around Christmas, what's important. Things like that. Yeah.
It will also be really interesting to perform this in front of lots of people. We've already done one private concert, online concert with this show. But Cranleigh will be the first time that we've both been back out in front of an audience playing music since March. So obviously we've done a lot of this music online, and we have been playing to the camera.
Yeah.
But actually, I think then bringing it out to lots of different people will probably change the way we feel about it as well. So, yeah, actually, there's a chance I might get quite emotional in front of lots of people.
We did find this with online gigs, actually, that actually there is this thing that you have to completely change how you perform, because of course if you're trying to fill a 200-seater venue, you're big, you're larger than life. And if you do that on camera, you just look mad. So actually, I think we're going to have to kind of learn quite quickly again to be sort of big and effusive as opposed to small and intimate and playing to someone there.
Yeah.
So I'm quite looking forward to that, actually.
Yeah, sounds fantastic.
Great.
So I know you're going to give us a little preview.
Sure.
So really excited. So tell us a little bit about what the track you're going to play for us.
So this is the first track. This is the track that starts the show, and it's also the track that starts the album that is the recording of the show. It's called Winter Fair, and it's a song that I wrote back in January. And we wrote it because our first gig of 2020 was on January the 11th at a place called the Fleece Inn in Bretforton in Worcestershire. And it is this beautiful 13th century pub in a tiny little Cotswold village that is owned by the National Trust. It has a very, very enterprising landlord who puts loads and loads of stuff on. We've played there loads and loads of times. And he'd approached us to come and play for his wassail on the 11th of January. Don't know if you know about wassailing. Wassailing basically is the tradition whereby you take that year's leftover cider, assuming that you have any, and you pour it on the roots of the apple trees that have sort of brought forth the apples that made the cider. So they'll do the same thing again. The pub has an orchard out the back, and it's in cider-making country. So they started doing this some years ago. They kind of revived the tradition. It snowballed. And when we played this wassail, there were literally hundreds of people in this tiny little Cotswold village. And there was mulled wine, and there was real ale, and there was hog roasts, and there was sort of festivities and parties.
And Morris dancers and music and
everything I love. Great.
And I kind of came away from it sort of going, we need more of this in January, because actually, you know, I don't know about you, but for me, certainly, January is the time of year when Christmas is over and you sort of go, well, what now? I'm actually feeling quite low. And it was just this fantastic topic. So I wrote a song about it. And then 2 months later, it turned out that we might never be able to do anything like that again. So
Right.
It goes into a tune that Chris wrote as well called the New Year's Jig. Chris's instrument is a mando cello, which is like a big mandolin, and I shall be playing for you the English border bagpipes. They work just the same as the Scottish Highland pipes, but they are just a lot quieter. So I don't play the Scottish Highland pipes. The fact that I'm sure over the last 9 months our next door neighbours have been very grateful for them and the cat. So yes, they have a really strong medieval tradition in this country and were really popular sort of until the 18th century when they started to die out. But yeah, they're a lovely instrument. Right, I'm going to make Zoom listen to music.
there we go.
And there we go.
Which is the other thing we've learned this year.
Yeah, lots of tech. Anyway,
Winter Fair.
Winter Fair, and we shall see you next week.
Absolutely.
The warmth of summer is long since fled, and Jack of the Green lies sleeping beneath the earth. His lady's head and soundly slumbers there. But though the wintry fingers of his brother Jack Frost come creeping, forget your woes and your cold red nose and come to the Winter Fair. There's roasted hogs and spicy ale and perry and cider merling. There's songs and stories and tricks and tales to drive your cares away. There's friends of old ones yet untold. There's merriment, mirth and fooling. So put off your care to the Winter Fair, make haste upon your way. Of all the 12, December is the cruelest and least embracing. Of all the seasons, the winter is the loneliest of the four. Too often minds to dark incline when winter saddens they're facing. The shortened days and absent rays make spirits low and poor. So cast your frets and worries aside and haste to our merry meeting. The logs are ablaze by the fireside, there's victuals and drinks prepared. We'll feast and we'll sail with cakes and ale, and though it be snowing or sleeting, we'll warm with cheer and fellowship here by the fire at the Winter Fair. wish you good cheer and a happy new year as we dance at the winter fair.
Oh,
Thank
you.
you very
That
much.
was wonderful. So we're really excited about the show. So it's next Wednesday the 9th of December at 7:30. We do have a few tickets left for the audience, but they are going fast. So if you do want to book, go to cranleighArtsCentre.org for more details. If you don't fancy venturing out yet, that's also fine. You can stream the concert. So we've got the new technology that we've invested in. We're really excited, and tickets are £12. So take care, and we will see you really soon.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye.